Okay, I don't know if that moon is showing. I'm speaking a little loud because I'm away from the microphones. And I'm going to turn it around. I can see it, but when I look through my little tiny viewfinder, I don't see it. So I'm just hoping you can see that beautiful crescent moon. I'll find out later when I upload this whether or not it's visible. But I'm visible. So this is, it's around 8 o'clock Eastern time, and so the Labor Day weekend is coming to a close. And I found myself saying to the people that I had discussions with, because I went out last night to an open mic, and also I went out today into town because I needed some tobacco and some alcohol-free beers and even a few tasty brown ales that I keep around when I'm in the mood for a brown ale. And there's a bat. Maybe they're coming out now. Anyway, Labor Day. What I was saying to people was, and this is not, I'll get to the actual laborers and the celebration of them. But when I hear Labor Day, and of course, being a Gnostic, very much involved with the divine feminine, the divine Sophia, which is a Greek word. And sometimes I think the term Sophia or Sophia in Greek doesn't translate as well. And if I were to speak English as the Greeks were speaking Greek to each other when they referred to the earth goddess, it would be wisdom. We would say wisdom. We would not say Sophia or Sophia. Because in Greek, that's what they're saying. They're saying wisdom, even though it's also a title. So when I think of labor, I think of women. And the fact without women and their labor of passing these huge bodies through their tiny orifices, the true labor, there would be no laborers of any gender. It is the women who bring the anthropos into existence physically. So I think Labor Day, especially going forward, we might remember the women and how all of us are here because of their labor. Once again, and that labor for many of them is quite excruciating. And then even after that one excruciating experience, they might have more. They are the laborers. They produce all of the other laborers. And we can celebrate those laborers, but let us celebrate the women. All right? This is not a feminist thing that I'm speaking about here. This is deep, deep spirituality, or mantique. So as I watch the bats flit around here, I might try and capture them, but I so far can't capture even, I don't see the moon in my viewfinder. But I just wanted to take this short time while I'm out here listening to the crickets and all the other night sounds, listening to wisdom speak and sing to me and delight me, because wisdom is very much about beauty and pleasure, which is why there are schools of thought that certainly downplay pleasure and then often corrupt concepts of beauty. And when this is done, it gets in the way of wisdom and our connection to wisdom. Knowledge of utility is very useful. That's why it's knowledge of utility. But it is wisdom that bore us. We are the children of wisdom. And hopefully we're not acting like children. And so I think I'll just take a little panorama. Maybe we'll see a few bats, because I'm going to take my face off camera. I've said basically what I need to say about Labor Day at the conclusion of the Labor Day weekend. But I would like to take it away from the Lites. Many of you might say elite, but they're hiding what they are. They're Lites. Look up L. Find out what L is, and you might understand the Lites. And so the Lites, they throw a bone to the laborers, in this case, people who work for them, and make them magnificently wealthy. So they give people a day. And I've noticed that less and less people are even getting Labor Day off. So, but that game is coming to an end. And so, once again, going forward, Labor Day, let us not celebrate the bone the Lites throw to all the people that work for them. Let us give recognition to the women through whose labor we all have a physical existence. Of course, Nous, or the divine imagination, is a gift of wisdom herself, something that she shares with us so that we might be wise, that we might be the sensory organs of wisdom in the hologram, in her dreaming, that she has dreamed us into. Become lucid in that dream and become wise. And now for a panorama. Once again, the moon should be in this shot. I just don't know if it is. And by the way, that's the new crescent moon, and this is a Sodashi shift. Sodashi is part of one of the sky dakinis, and see, in her case, she's a Mahavidya. And oh, look at the bats! They're like only a few feet above me. There we go. Oh, can you see that one? There we go. It was in my yard. Sodashi, yes, this is her shift. Part of the practice of wisdom that we do in planetary tantra. So just a little shout out for the Telestai, Gnostics, and Kalikas out there. So we'll look a little at the moon. Oh, and especially, there we go. Let's see. There are the bats. Yeah, I'm seated on my little humble lawn. This is the very ground I have put my blood into in my vow to wisdom. The iron to iron connection. And here's where I have my little fires so that I don't burn the lawn. Oh, I see so many. Oh, there's so many bats flying around. It is really beautiful. Fixing mufflers costs money, and I'm in a very humble area of Southwest Virginia. So very often when cars go by, they're a little. Oh, here we go. Can you see that one? There we go. There's another one flying away. I'm on one of the crappiest made in China lawn chairs. I stored it for about a year or two before I pulled out. It was already, when I pulled it out, it was already disintegrating. Yeah, this is their idea of biodegradable, breaking up into little microplastic particles, even before you take it out of the pack. Oh, they're like swarms of the bats tonight. Oh, there's 3 of them right over there. Here we go. Right over my head by about 10 or 15 feet. Yeah, they're all over here. Probably my carbon dioxide is attracting some food for them. Carbon dioxide is how mosquitoes find us. And then when they get close enough, they can find us with their infrared vision. But it is our carbon dioxide trails that they follow. And so I'm here huffing and puffing. Well, not huffing and puffing, but putting out a fair amount of CO2 just from respirating and speaking. And I have bats flying all over his place here. And it is awesome. I love bats. I love nature. I love the human species too. But from time to time I will try to bring those who have not yet discovered wisdom to wisdom. This way here I can rest in peace knowing I've done something and not just sit content in my own beauty. The beauty of my experience, the beauty of living within dreaming. Point the mics away from the dog, because these are very directional mics, and if I point away from the dog, it'll be a little bit, oh, look at that one. I'm hoping this stuff comes out, because if it comes, oh, it doesn't, flight again, return flight. If it sounds like I'm having a great joy with the bats flying around, you would be correct in hearing that tone in my voice, that there is joy. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, you see that one? Yeah, my batteries are holding up fairly well here. So, that'll be it. I'll be uploading this shortly, especially since the light is now coming, but I have it on the night. This has different settings. I do have it on the night setting. So I haven't put up a video in a while. I'm working on some musical things. I'm pretty much out of the, not out, but very limited teaching, because YouTube is an entertainment platform. I know a lot of people think it's a teach, and it can be. I've learned a lot of things on how do people who actually teach you how to do things. But when it comes to the truther community, oof, that's a rough group. There are other people who are doing, I think, good jobs, and whatever. I'm just not up for it because it's not understood. Basically, if I'm saying things that have no context to the people that are hearing it, then it just becomes like stop bothering us. And of course the Gnostics, we now have Nemitta, and so we have our place. So we don't need, we should be out. I do it in personal things, little by little. I mean, it's really amazingly hard to break the God spell that it lays upon billions of humans. I usually remember to put out one uninhaled puff of smoke for White Buffalo Calf Woman, who gave us the sacred herb. Like many things that are sacred, they aren't used in a sacred fashion, and when the sacred is not utilized sacredly, there can be issues. If you smoke too much tobacco, you will minimally have some, reduced lung capacity. If you can smoke under 5 cigarettes a day, your lungs can absorb that. Also, if you smoke less, the nicotine will buzz the shit out of you. If nicotine doesn't buzz the shit out of you, you're consuming too much. tobacco really helps block a lot of extra the kind of like intrusions into our consciousness, the kind of intrusions that we wouldn't want. And so this is tobacco, organic, or at least naturally grown tobacco. And so far, there's only one that I know of on the commercial market, and that's American Spirit Organic Tobacco. All the other American Spirit tobaccos I consider basically untouchable. Okay, that's it. Live within wisdom and experience the joy and the beauty.